Welcome to Double Shot, where we take a dive into the journey of everyday people taking a shot at business and entrepreneurship. I'm Dave, your host and mixologist, and today we have Drex Lee.
What's up, guys? How's it going? My name is Drex Lee, and I'm very excited to be on the show. Let's get some drinks going.
Bam.
All right, let's do this. Straight shot, no chase?
No chase.
Let's go.
Let's go. Woo! I like this beginning. I like this.
Let's get it.
It's cool. All right.
Let's get it.
So,
all right.
So tell us a little bit more about like what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I do lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it's a little bit too much, but my main thing that I do is I like to go out and I like to socialize. I like to go out and have a lot of fun. I like to go out and chase everything that I ever wanted to do and just do it, you know. And that includes many different things. I love working out. I'm very into fitness. So I have a fitness studio. I love food. I love eating. I love eating great food. I love cooking. I love preparing food. So I opened a restaurant. I love ice cream. I love sweets. I love boba. So I opened up a cafe. And I love movies. I love watching exciting movies. I love watching all the creativeness that goes right behind it. So I opened a film company. And I love partying a lot. And I love drinking. So I opened up a events business, and that's been going strong for about 8 years straight. And yeah, that's kind of the things that I'm kind of involved with right now. And I love the community, so I do a lot of community events. And
right.
That's pretty much just the gist of kind of like what I do.
Right. What don't you like? Is there anything you don't like at all?
That's a good question. Haven't discovered it yet.
Yeah. So like you've done all these businesses. Have you done it all at once, or you just did it one at a time? Was there a phase in your life you just did it one at a time?
Definitely, I did them one at a time because I just chase whatever's right in front of me, right? Sometimes you just get that light bulb moment in your head, and you're like, man, I gotta go chase this. And sometimes there's no better time than present. And sometimes opportunities will slip, so you gotta take advantage of that and just go right ahead and go. And so I started the film business about 10 years ago, and then the events business about 8 years ago, the restaurant about 3 years ago, the fitness studio about 2 years ago, and the cafe was a year ago.
And those are still running today?
Those are all still running.
All still running.
Oh, except for the events, because obviously this is COVID season, which means that there's no events going on right now.
Well, temporarily, that is. Yeah.
For the foreseeable future.
Right. So that's good. You have all these businesses, you're running at all the same time. How did you run them all at the same time? I mean, like every other business owners, they run it one at a time. They really focus on that, and then they just exponentially try to grow it. What is your approach to this? I
definitely agree with that. You got to follow your passion and put your whole heart into everything that you do, and that's exactly what I did with my film business. We started out very low, very, very meager, barely any clients, and just put everything into that and just let it grow. And I put everything I had into it, and we were able to grow it to a very high level, right? To the point where I was able to expand into events and expand into restaurants, fitness studios, and so on. And as you mentioned that, how did I run all of these businesses simultaneously? Well, I can't run it by myself. Right. And the most important thing is to find people that have the exact same passion as you and have a skill set that complements yourselves. So from what I do, I'm a very creative guy, right? I like to create the foundations and build, and then I need to have someone that is able to keep all the things that I drive over there, right, as the operations. So I'm very blessed to have very good partners in all of my ventures, and together we're like able to keep the boat moving.
Thing is, you find all these people. How do you find key partners? How do you find people who?
It's not finding partners.
Right.
It's kind of like it's kind of like finding your wife. It just kind of happens, right? Like that's the perfect person right there.
Are you sure, wife?
Yeah, because once you get into a business relationship with them, you're kind of married. You share everything. You got to make decisions together. And we're stuck together as long as we're on the lease.
Where do you find these people? I mean, again, I'm just trying to understand. Like,
It just, to be honest, like I said, it just kind of just happens, right?
Just happens.
It just happens. Like we just do something together, and then we have a great idea. We talk about it, and then like, yo, I could do this, and you're like, oh, I could do this. Oh, we could come together,
mind meld,
and then create something amazing.
has there been ever a time where you guys work together, you guys are initially well, and all of a sudden you guys are like, you know what, this may not be a good fit?
Yeah,
Okay.
that happens a lot, you know.
okay.
And the thing is that 100 shots that you 100% of the shots you take aren't gonna all make it in.
Right.
Right. But the important thing is that you tried.
Okay.
Right. Just like a relationship, right? You tried.
Right.
But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Good.
You know. But like I said, I've been fortunate with the ones that are still running, and yeah.
You tell me let's go for each dive for each of your business. So let's start with the film business. What have you done in that specifically, and what have you done to grow it and partner it up?
So for my film business, I don't have no partners in that one. It's a sole business,
Okay.
and it's my passion. You know, a lot of the clients that I worked with, a lot of them end up becoming a lot of my good friends.
Okay.
We just have a really good relationship building, whether it be with through work or
Right.
outside of work, and that's really the relationships that I really love to have with my clients. And over the past 10 years, I've had over 100 clients, and I've been able to travel and just have a really good time with all of them.
Right.
You know, whether it be in business or outside of business.
So how did you grab these? I know you have all these well-known names, clientele, high-end clienteles. How did you
Right.
get them? How did they hear about you? I mean, especially when people are just starting out, like there's so much.
I agree.
Noise.
It's a lot.
Right.
It's hard work, and then don't get me wrong. It was a long road. It's a long journey. A lot of it has to do with. Oh, we taking another shot?
Yeah, we are. So this time we're going to take a shot of Chartreuse. It's green Chartreuse. It's actually made from Cartesian monks. What? Yeah. What do you think it smells?
Can we do something else?
Yeah, it's by monks
Oh, wow.
in the 1700s in France, and it's herbs. All the stuff you're smelling, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Do we take a chaser with this, or what do we do?
So what we're gonna do is we are gonna taste it first, because I want you to be familiar with this, and we're
Okay.
gonna go dive in making a cocktail of this. So the smell, what does that remind you of? Some of the stuff that you
Something I don't want to drink.
herb. It's like herbs. It's more like the anise type of thing that comes
I actually
out.
had something very similar while I was in Dominican Republic.
Okay.
There was a bunch of herbs inside.
Right.
And it was red wine.
Okay.
They marinated for like months and months and months.
Right.
And then no matter how much I drank of it, I never had a hangover.
Interesting. Do you
Yeah.
know the name of that?
It's like Mama Juana or something like that,
Yeah.
or Mama Juana. Yeah, Mama Juana. There it is.
Sounds like marijuana.
Yeah, it's Mama Juana.
They probably put some marijuana
Yeah, at the
in
airport
there,
when
you
they
know?
asked me, they're like, "Oh, what do you got in the bag?" I was like, "Oh, I got Mama Juana." They're like, "Marijuana?" I'm like, "Oh, no. Mama Juana is." They're like, oh, "Okay, yeah."
And obviously, you probably killed it all. You didn't.
Yeah, I actually brought some back. All I gotta do is throw some red wine in there and just let it marinate.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because it comes with all the herbs and everything.
Right.
So-
I gotta try it next time I'm there. So let's cheers.
Let's
So
get it.
what we're gonna do is you're gonna
Taste
kind of
it.
hover it. You're gonna hover your nose, kind of smell it. You've done that before. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little taste of it, and you're gonna bite it with your molars. So we're gonna do
Bite it?
Yeah, you're gonna bite it. You're gonna bite it. You're
But what am I biting?
You're just biting the liquid. I know what the fuck you're biting. So just kind of chew on it,
Okay.
and then you're gonna kind of get the it's gonna hit some taste buds, and you're gonna feel it. All right.
That was weird.
That's weird, right? So Chartreuse comes in two types mainly. It's green and yellow. We got the green because I just want to go bold. Yellow one, just it's infused with honey and some other citrus fruits, but it's something that the French drink with their aperitif. Which aperitif is basically they drink it before their meal or during their meal or after the meal. And this is kind of interesting, right? Because us Americans, we don't drink aperitif in general. Aperitif, have you heard of sweet vermouth?
I haven't heard of anything you just said. So,
Good. All right. So the next thing we're gonna do is you're gonna. So you still have some left?
of course.
Perfect. Now what we're gonna do is you are just gonna bring it back to your palate and just kind of gurgle a little bit and then let it down your throat. I know what the fuck is that, right?
Let me see you do it first.
All right, let me do it. Yeah, it's kind of like wine, but you're gonna hit all your. I know what the fuck.
All right.
Let's do it, Drex. Go now. Kind of hit some of your palates back there. Do you get more of a different taste back there? Or?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, yeah.
It's actually, it's
different.
from eating it and drinking it.
Definitely different.
Two different things.
Yeah, next time when you arrive to scotches, you just kind of do the same thing. Yeah.
Scotches?
Scotch, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just kind of get into that.
Definitely.
So you say you started with your film business. What was next? What did you do after that?
It was the events.
Events. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about your events. What did you do exactly in that realm?
So, events, I love events. A lot of the events I did were mainly like nightclub events,
right.
Also networking events. But as far as the nightlife events, I was using it to promote my videos. Every time I had a new music video release, I would drop it at a nightlife event.
Right.
And from 2010 was when I started my film business to 2012, I racked up over 200 videos, right? And that time frame, probably about like half of them were music videos.
Okay.
So keep in mind, these are super low budget music videos, but they were able to give me a huge following, right? And it was also able to catch the attention of the major networks such as BT, VH1, and MTV, as some of these artists eventually moved on and got bigger deals.
Do you get some behind the scenes party events like the legal where they're doing drugs and they have a whole bunch of girls in the back, something like that?
I wish, but no, I didn't have any of that.
No?
Like, these are super low budget. I don't think the drugs were even like, but it wasn't even in the budget.
Okay.
No, it was able to gain me a huge following, and because I was able to drop these music videos at each of these events, we were able to fill up these events. And it got me to the point where like, okay, and I love to party anyways, so like if I wasn't throwing these parties, I'd be there partying. So might as well just mash the two things in one.
It seems like every guy's dream to
Exactly,
do that.
but not just that, I was the guy that was in the back of the line. And I'm like, man, I can't get in. Once I get to the front, they're like, nah, you can't get in, man. I'm like, what's wrong? I'm like, something about your shoes. Nope, can't get in.
Right.
And so I was that guy, right? And I get that, right? So I wanted to create something where like, people don't have to go through that no more. My friends don't have to go through that, so I made that possible, right? Where like, I will hook up my friends. I will hook up the people. You don't have to worry about, being that guy anymore. You know what I mean? I invite everybody, and I took care of everyone. So, and all my events had no cover at all. So,
even with big names.
Even at the time, right? Like a lot of places were still charging cover. And then I was the only one that was like, nah, no cover for anyone.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that made us cracking. Sure, I didn't make a lot of money, but I didn't really care.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I was gonna party anyways, and there's nothing better to do than to party with my friends and party with the people that came to support.
Right.
So, which is, it gave a lot of chance to my followers, my fans, to come and meet me and hang out with me and party with me. And a lot of those people that were following me became my friends.
When you say party, they come to these events. Which where are these events?
So I started off at Temple, Temple Bar and Lounge. It's
in San Jose.
In San Jose, like it's a small spot, about like 250 people. Would fill the spot, right? Which is still a good amount of people, right?
Right.
I brought on my one of my good friends, one of my bros from fraternity, first time DJing at a club. I brought him in, and now he's like probably one of my favorite DJs. We took him out to, DJing in Vegas. And I took him out to, I was managing him for a bit. I put him like in all these different nightclubs, all the big ones, all NorCal, in Tahoe Beach in Vegas.
I'm sort of getting a feel you have a very big heart because your thing is you just want to help out friends, and I think that's just started the genesis of all these other businesses out and moving forward.
I mean, at the core of it, right? Like I think that the moment that I stopped thinking about making money, because of course after college all you think about is chasing money, because how are you gonna pay off your debt, right?
Right.
But that wasn't fulfilling. What was fulfilling was the moment I stopped looking at how to make money was the moment I started making money, right? Sure, it wasn't a lot, but I didn't care about how much I made.
Yeah, that's a key thing. People keep saying adding value. Once you worry about once you focus on adding value, you're going to move your business to the next level. Don't worry about money.
This is the thing that I like to say to a lot of upcoming entrepreneurs and just people in general about how to effectively run a good business and be happy at life, is that if you're able to do what you love and make a living out of it, then you're already living the dream, right? But if you want more than that, then you're just being selfish.
Very good point.
Because I do know a lot of people that are really, really wealthy,
Okay.
but they have no life.
What are the indicators? Like, how would you know, hey, I'm living my life and this is perfect?
You have no worries.
No worries.
You know, you're just enjoying every little moment of it, you know, because you stop worrying and you start enjoying.
I'm starting to see some people who are doing what they love, but they're struggling financially.
And that's the thing, right? You got to get to the point where you could do what you love, and because it depends how you are struggling financially, right? Like, what is that mark where you are happy, right? Because to some people, you might have to live in a mansion or like a big house or whatever. You could be modest and live in a shack,
right?
You know what I mean? Whatever, right? For me, you know, I lived in I was renting a room out from a trailer home. Like when I first started, right? Then I had bigger dreams. Like, you know what? Maybe I do deserve something nicer, you know?
Trailer home. What is? Can you tell us a little bit more about it? You had a trailer home?
I didn't have one. I rented a room from a trailer home.
Oh, okay.
From a Vietnamese family that couldn't speak English, and I'm Chinese, so I couldn't communicate with them at all. I just paid them rent every month, and that's it. At the time, I couldn't find any gigs, so I was like $80K in debt, and I was like broke and with no job.
This was right after college?
Right after college. I was unemployed for 2 years.
Yeah, so this happened during the...
when I was building my film company stage.
And also during the recession, basically?
During the recession, and it sucked. But, you know, the important thing is never giving up, because I was about to give up. I'm not gonna lie, because you hit a breaking point where you feel like, man, I don't know where I'm gonna go with this.
It's crazy, yeah.
Right? So, you know, I almost gave up, but I didn't. So,
what did you do that time?
I was about to move to LA, and my uncle had a shop over there, and I was gonna go work with him at his shop, which ended up folding anyways. But, you know, I talked to myself, I was like, you know what, maybe I'm just gonna give this another shot, you know, like, I'm just gonna push a little harder. You know, a lot of my clients, like I said, at the time, I already pushed out 200 videos, right? And I was just like, all right, you know, some of my clients are starting to like pick up, and then, all right, let's rock and roll with it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna give this another shot and just keep pushing. Right. So, you know, and yeah, I used to live across the street right here, and I used to come here every single day just to stare up at this being built, and then give myself a goal of, I want to live up there. So how am I gonna get there? Give myself motivation to do it.
So what you did was you just kind of you imagine yourself like, hey, you know, I'll be right up there.
Yeah, like what am I gonna do?
That's my goal.
To take it there.
You envisioned it.
Yeah, and the thing is that what I always thought to myself was, okay, this is my experience. The more money you spend is the more money you'll make. I know that sounds crazy, but because the less money you have in your pocket, the more you want to put that money back inside, and in that process, you learn how to make it faster and more efficient.
Interesting.
So you're learning. The more you're in need, the more you learn, because the more desperate you are in gaining that knowledge.
There's some people, they just keep digging themselves a hole. How did you not get in that realm?
That's the thing, man. You have to learn from your mistakes. You know, sometimes you do have to take a step back to move 2 steps forward. You know, and that's gonna happen. You just don't know when you're gonna make it. Right. You don't know when you're gonna be happy until you're happy. Okay. You know, and at the end of the day, like I said, you just gotta enjoy it and do what you love, and if you're able to make a living out of it, that's all you need to do. You know.
Okay, so boom, doing the film events. What happened after that? You said you did
a restaurant. I did the restaurant next because I was doing pretty well in film and doing pretty well in my events. And I surpassed my wildest dreams, which was basically traveling around the world, hanging out with all these celebrities, getting invited to all these events, you know what I mean? Every young kid's dream.
Were you always like this in high school? Like, were you always this social kid? I mean, what
I actually wasn't, bro.
Interesting.
Like, I'm from the city of Stockton, where it's like, everyone from Stockton calls it a crab pit. Crab bucket.
Crab bucket.
You don't know if you know what that means. But every time a crab tries to climb out, another crab will pull you back in. Right?
Wow.
So, you know, it was a pretty dense place for me growing up, where like I didn't really want to hang out with people, because you realize that you see the world different than what you see in Stockton, because this Stockton, with everything that was going on, that's not what you wanted to be a part of. You see a bigger picture, and San Jose was my bigger picture. So when I came to San Jose, this is the big city to me. Like this is the big city.
From Stockton to here.
Yeah.
When I think about Stockton, I think about that show, that motorcycle show. What was it? Was that
no
the
idea.
Harley show? Yeah.
I have no idea,
Yeah.
but but Stockton has changed a lot since then. But yeah, Stockton. I came from the city of Stockton, so like, it's in high school, right? There was nothing but like fights and like, we couldn't walk in groups of more than 2 people. Cops would get hit by like bamboo sticks, by people. There would always be like racial fights and everything like that. Cops had like guns and everything like that.
Right.
We have fucking barbed wires. You know what I mean? Like our parking lot was like driving through like a pothole thing. It was crazy, right?
Right down the city. Yeah.
So you really had to like figure out who you wanted to associate yourself with. As for me, I didn't really want to associate with anybody. I was like that guy that was way too cool for anything. I was just like, I didn't want to hang out with nobody. I was just like, okay, we can hang out, and then that's it. Like I would never be in class. I would just be in the parking lot chilling. I would probably lunchtime. I would just go home.
Your parents will be like, hey, what are you doing, boy?
The thing is that they weren't home, right? Because like typical Asian parents, they work like all the time.
Hardworking parents.
I never seen them. You know what I mean? Like it's so hard to see them. So I wake up, go to school. I actually go to my friend's house or just go somewhere else.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely different. And then I always wanted to live like what I saw on TV, right?
Okay.
Having, you watch those shows where like people have a great time in high school and everything like that. And friends,
right?
My friends were all gangsters. You know what I mean? And that's that's just the life, right?
Right.
Every time we would go out, feel like walls that watch our shoulders.
Right.
Go to the park.
This is Stockton.
In
right?
Stockton, yeah.
Yeah. It's basically the show Sons of Anarchy. Have you seen that one?
I actually heard a lot about.
I just think about like gangs and motorcycle riders and just is it all like high crime rate?
In high school, it felt like it was. It felt like everyone was in a gang, and it felt like everyone was trying to fight someone for some reason.
Right.
Right. And that's what it was. Like hear gunshots every other night. And just normal.
Wow.
Right. So you really have to figure out. Okay, for myself, I knew I had like, okay, I'm bigger than this. Gotta find something, where, because this is not normal.
Right.
Right? But to me it was normal, but I had to create myself a situation where it had to be the real normal, right? Where I shouldn't really have to be enduring all this, right? So when I moved to San Jose, what I did, I joined a fraternity, I went to every single party, I joined a bunch of like business clubs,
So I think you were basically a small fish in a small pond. All of a sudden you're in a big pond, and you're like, or a big lake. And you're like, hey, this is.
Yeah.
You're exposed to all this stuff.
Yeah. So I was like, man, this is safe. I don't have to go to a house party and be worried about getting shot at. So I was like, this is a dream come true, in San Jose. This is amazing. So, what I experienced here is kind of what I wanted to bring back to Stockton. And that's why I built my restaurant in Stockton. And going back to why I built the restaurant, why I moved into the restaurant space was because I wanted to provide my city with something different.
And what is it, and what's the name of the restaurant?
It was called Superfish Poke and Tea. I just closed it down, but we are rebranding as Musubi Cafe. And after that came the fitness studio, and then after that came the cafe. The thing is that I just wanted to be a economic driver in Stockton, but not just that, provide a place for the art scene, a safe place for people to come express their art, because myself, I'm in the art scene, right? Because creativity, I wanted somewhere where people could get together, have shows, show off their talents, get together like a hub for people to express their ideas.
Have you seen your actions change Stockton itself?
I think so. After we had our opening and then our events, we started seeing a lot of pop-ups at other venues.
Doing the same thing.
Doing the same thing, which is great because, some people might look at it as competition, but, this is what I wanted for Stockton.
Right.
Because those things, those events weren't necessarily driving the sales,
right.
but it was a safe haven for people, because all these people that came, they didn't necessarily have the money, right? But they try to support however they can.
Right.
You know, because it is a scene, and it was definitely a hub for people to come and get together. You know, a safe place for people to get together. You know, so.
So why did you create the fitness? What's so special about creating fitness? I mean, there's gyms, it's all around.
So
like,
with the fitness studio, right, I have a really big passion in fitness, just because I'm really into fitness. I worked for this gym called, you might have heard of it, called Orange Theory Fitness.
Right.
I did a lot of work for them, and then what they did was very inspiring to me, and I wanted to create something the same in Stockton, but more affordable, a lot more affordable, and in my image. So that's how that came along, because Superfish is all healthy snacks. All the drinks were organic and healthy, build your metabolism, decrease your weight, and same thing with the food, right? It's all fish and stuff like that. So just a lot of protein. So it's just like a healthy mix altogether.
Right.
And then how I got the cafe was, after all the lessons I learned at Superfish, I really wanted to push to entertainment. So we built a stage out and lighting and everything like that. We basically turned it into an entertainment venue with desserts. So that's how it kind of came apart. We wanted to be a venue with places that the community could use to their advantage.
Right.
And yeah, that's when we have having a lot of shows. We used to have a show almost every single night. And it was huge.
And now we're going from restaurant, and then now is it SB2? Is that the?
So over here at SB2, I was fortunate enough to partner up with my good friend Tin. He's one of the owners over here, and he allowed.
Just want to give a shout out to SB2. Thanks for.
Definitely, we're here at SB2 right now, and yeah, he was very we wanted to help. He wanted to help me out, and then we created Tiger Milk Boba Bar inside of SB2. And it definitely opened up a new market for them, and as well as for us, and having just a great place to be at. And I've been here for like a long time, just doing videos and events, and I have a long-standing relationship with them, bouncing back to the Temple days.
Perfect. Now you're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna make it's one of my favorite things. So I don't know if you guys know, but I really love Chartreuse. So what we're gonna make is Chartreuse Smash. It's kind of like a rendition of a mojito. So you ready to make another drink?
I'm down.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. What we're gonna do is we are going to take 2 cups right here. We're gonna take about 5 sprigs of mints right here. So go ahead and Drex, grab some.
Do you want me to make it too?
Yeah, we're gonna make it side by side. We're gonna make it side.
All right.
Bam.
Let's do this.
All right, got that?
5 sprigs?
Yeah, but roughly 5 to 6 sprigs. You got enough?
Is this? I don't know.
Yeah, you can grab a little bit more. So what some people do is they slap the mints and they express it. A lot of artists do this as a shortcut, but we're not going to do a shortcut today. So
No shortcuts.
So what we're going to do, we're actually going to muddle it. Perfect. Yeah, so you just throw into this Claus glass. Perfect. I'm going to put it right there. There we go. All right. Now we're going to put a little bit of simple syrup into here to draw out the flavor of the mint.
All right.
All right, so now you're gonna take your muddle. That's yours. This is mine. I'm just gonna muddle this out. Just gonna twist it in here. Yeah, just bring it closer.
How much do we muddle it?
It's about good enough. So you feel it's right.
Is this right?
Yeah. No, it looks good. Perfect. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some ice into here. I'll show you. Okay, I'm gonna put some ice for
Oh
you.
yeah, thank you.
So the reason why we're adding ice is we're gonna keep the mints down, as well as to add more of the cocktail ingredients on top. Okay. All right, so after we do this, we're gonna add some sweet and sour juice into here. And where's that right here? Pour about half an ounce, and I'll do it for you.
Awesome, thank you.
All right. Perfect. This right here. And we're gonna add Chartreuse in here. We're gonna add about half an ounce. Actually, sorry, 1 ounce to here. Give you a little bit more. And then you finish it up with sparkling water. Or
Sparkling water.
Or club soda. Some sparkly. Really refreshing. All right. Use the straw to kind of stir this around. Perfect. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put a sprig of mint on the top, and that's just for.
How do we do that? Oh,
You just
pick one?
Yeah, usually you take the one from the top.
Small one, big one? Like that?
Let's go a little bit more, kind of like from here, kind of like a flower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of
Flour.
put it in there. Boom.
All right.
We're gonna.
I'm excited.
So this is what other bartenders do is they don't necessarily drink, obviously, the cocktail, but what they do is they're gonna taste. So you take a clean straw and just kind of cover it, and you're just gonna taste it right there.
How's it?
Not bad. Sweet, nice, chill.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is your Chartreuse smash.
Solid.
Cool. All right.
Cheers.
You guys want to try it? Cheers. So what's new? What's your next thing? Are you gonna stop? I mean, it seems like you're doing like 5 or 6 businesses simultaneously. What's gonna stop you?
The master plan is to really be able to change the world,
Okay.
right? Whether it'll start at a local level, to a regional level, to a global level, right? And how we change the world is, I have no idea. We're just gonna have to keep figuring things out along the way. You just have a rough guideline of how you want to do it, and just do it. Like all these things I did, I had no idea I was gonna do all this.
Right.
Right? When I wanted to make videos, I had no idea that I was gonna be able to make a living out of it. Chances are to make a living out of making video, pretty slim. So, and I was very fortunate to be able to do that, and be able to gain all the trust of all these businesses, clients, whatever, to help me propel my career to this far, and even as far as events, right? For me, I was like, I'm just gonna throw a party like once a month. Then all of a sudden it turned to like 3 times a week, right? Next thing you know, we're selling out every single time we throw an event. And this happened for years. Right? I was never gonna open a restaurant, but how am I gonna impact the community back in my hometown? Well, build a restaurant, right? And then fitness studio, and then cafe, and then things just kind of fell all in place. And then how are we gonna impact the community? You gain the trust of the politicians. You try to help out the ones that you think that are actually benefiting the community versus the ones that are not doing so well for the community, right?
Right.
And then you try to help best propel the ones that you think are gonna really help the community, because as we know, politics is a dirty game.
So you worked with politicians before?
Definitely, and there's always a way to be there for your community without putting yourself away.
Okay, so what does
What
that
I mean by that
Yeah.
is that if you jump into the race, like if I jump into the race myself, in any political circles,
Right.
I would basically be putting away my current careers,
Okay.
right? But I could help politicians or other people, community activists or whatever it may be, to help better the community with my career,
Okay.
So, and that's what I've been doing.
Who have you worked with in that realm?
I worked with a lot of people, but we'll keep that for another time.
Sure, definitely.
But yeah, definitely, there's a lot of things in play right now, especially with the current political climate. And there's definitely a lot of changes to be made. As you know, this world is crazy, and it's always evolving, and we just have to evolve in the right direction.
So what things need to be changed, and what things do you feel like, hey, we need to make an immediate change right now?
I think the immediate change is definitely a better social and economic opportunity for everyone. Not just in terms of economic, but how that plays out is educational as well. There's a lot of times where, say, like for me, I went to a school that didn't really teach me the best, right? It taught me street smarts, but it didn't really teach me anything that will get me into a good school or get me a good job.
So it sounds like it's a really big project.
It's a really rooted situation.
Right.
Right? So you have to come up from the ground up. And there's a lot of politicians that believe in this, because I believe why people go into politics is because they want to see a change.
Right.
They want to help the community. Not all politicians are right. Right? But, you know, that's why there's a right and a left. But everyone thinks they're right. Everyone's a hero in their own story.
Right.
Right? So, you know, we just got to really stick to what we believe in, but at the same time, keep our minds open to see what's the better route for all people. You know, because I believe in a bottom-up approach where, like, the more prosperous the bottom people are, the more everything else will be more well-rounded.
It's really different from the I guess on the other side, whether you say that it's more of a trickle-down economy.
I don't believe in that because, you know, people I know, you know, they're not going to give away things, right? Because once they gain it, they want to keep it. Like, as a business owner, I know myself, like, if we were able to keep more taxes, I'm going to use it to enrich our upper management versus, you know, hiring more people. Because if our business doesn't need more people, why would I hire them? Right. Doesn't make business sense, right?
So is that your approach in business?
My approach is that, well, that's a smart business choice, right? So I haven't made it, so everyone thinks that just because you have a bunch of businesses, you got to be very wealthy, right? But I'm the complete opposite. I'm pretty much always broke, right? I haven't made any money from any of my businesses in Stockton because we do hire a lot of people. We want to give people opportunity, and whatever we make, we bonus back to the staff.
It seems like money to you is more like energy. Like,
I mean,
like you give, you take.
At the end of the day, like, money is just there so that you can operate, right? Staying afloat. And what the pandemic taught me was that once, you know, a pandemic, something like this hits, when we're not allowed to open, then that's where all your money dries up. And that's where I become in a dire situation. Where before, I'd be like, okay, break even, yeah, that's cool, it's whatever, right? This is gonna be fine, right? But then again, we've never suffered a pandemic in our lifetimes.
Right.
So this is unprecedented.
Yeah, so give me the step-by-step, give me the how you approach with the whole COVID thing that came about, and how did you come out of it?
Man. It's a really sad story.
Sad?
I'll be honest, I was depressed.
Cheers.
I was depressed. So when COVID hit, I was looking at a $750,000 in gross revenue. Then when the COVID hit, and then I had to shut things down or whatever like that, cancel my events, I was looking at a negative $200,000, which is a lot.
You know, in the last couple months, 200,000.
Yeah, and anything like you look at like positive, right?
Right.
It's fine. It's cool, right? Up, down, whatever. But when you're in negative, like, how the heck am I gonna dig myself out of this?
Right.
Right. So I was really depressed, but you know, it's very fortunate that the government was able to do a lot of these loan programs, and you know, we were able to take advantage of that and kind of put us back on our feet. You know, so that really allowed us to kind of keep pushing forward. Versus then, because if we had no help from the government, guaranteed we'll bankrupt the economy would just fall off a cliff.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that could be fixed still. The government program isn't perfect, but it did still help.
Yeah, so you're saying that right when that whole quarantine started happening,
I mean, the most important thing when the quarantine happened is that you try to pivot, right? How do I stay in business? What is the things that I can do to mitigate the loss?
Yeah, what things did you do?
You know, so it was hard, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do anything about events. Done.
Right.
Done deal, right?
Definitely.
That's already shut the door on it, right? Fitness studio, done. Can't do anything about it, right? How do we do the restaurants? Just make it to go, right? Just really push to go orders, right? Cancel front, cut labor, boom. We can't cut labor because that's what the PPP was for. We have to use that money for labor. So that's what I mean by there's a lot of things that didn't work out. And not just that, but there's also the unemployment that was so high up that like the workers wouldn't want to come back. So even though you had that PPP money, you can't spend it because no one wants to come back. And you have to pay them at the rate that they were getting paid before. Because you can't pay them higher. I mean, you can, but then like you're gonna have to owe that money back because you need the same amount of workers.
And they're so They're comfortable with getting paid with unemployment.
And the thing is that I don't blame them, right? Because, you know, I would do the same thing if I was in their shoes.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a really rough situation, and that's where I'm saying, like, in terms of politics, because they're the rule makers. Those some things could be better changed.
Right.
But how I navigated through that was, you know, I just had to really just figure out, you know, move past the depression stage, because obviously when you're looking at that negative and all your babies are suffering, right? That's kind of what it is.
Right.
Every single project is a baby, and they're all hurting, and it breaks your heart to see your babies hurting. And not just that, you know, you have your partners, which is basically your co-parents. They're hurting as well, right? So how do I save my co-parent as well as my kid? Which is some of the hardest things to do, right? Do I just have to give it away, or just let it die, or what do I do, right? So we're fortunate to be able to negotiate some sort of leniency with the landlords, and of course getting the grants from government and other programs.
Right.
So that's how we were able to navigate across, pivot differently in our business models, and yeah.
We're almost 4 months in. I mean,
Feels a lot longer than that.
Exactly. So you probably figure out things by now. What things you're like, hey, in the next couple months we're going to do this. Is there something new that's going to happen?
I keep thinking that we're going to be in this for the next 2 years. The reason why is because I see my friends in Taiwan, in Vietnam, everything's reopened, everything's fine over there. Cases nearing zero.
Right.
Over here, cases keep going up.
Why do you think so? Why is it going up?
I don't want to get political, because apparently it's a political situation now. So, because I love everyone, so we'll keep it at that. But I think the most important thing is that.
I mean, I'll just say it. I mean, it's
I just think that we have to stay safe, right? And we gotta do what we think is best for us, right? Regardless of what you think is the true way to stay safe, mask, no mask, social distance, whatever. You know, the most important thing is that you keep yourself safe, and you have to adjust to the situation at hand, right? Because if you're able to foresee the future where, like, we're gonna keep at this situation, right? We gotta take advantage and pivot to the situation at hand, because ultimately that's the rule of survival of the fittest. We have to adjust to the situation, regardless if it's good or bad. We just have to adjust to it no matter what.
Okay, so you start in business, you started actually, you know, just a kid in Stockton, really poor, I guess actually almost have no direction, and now you went to San Jose, and now you're exposed to all this.
I think everything in a nutshell is the path to become a successful entrepreneur. And the reason why I say successful is because my definition of success is happiness, right?
I mean, what is happiness?
No worries.
No worries. Hakuna Matata.
Exactly.
All right.
No worries. It's true, because when you stop having worries, that's when you're truly happy. You're able to see everyone else around you happy. You're able to push and build other people and people around you to be happy, and just loving what they do and being able to, you know, live off of it and have a good life. That's what a good life is. Because if I could have $1 billion, and if I'm still worrying about something, I'm not happy. You know,
that's key.
And you know, and a successful entrepreneur, I'm a happy guy that loves doing what I do and able to make a living out of it. So that's what I call a successful entrepreneur. And a way to become a successful entrepreneur is to find what you love to do. Just reach for that goal. Find what you want to do.
Right.
It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like, if you want to live at the top of a high rise, you want to live in a mansion, that's your goal.
You just got to picture it.
You just got to picture it and just go for it and see how you're going to get yourself there.
Right.
You know, and like I said, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. You could just live in a regular house. You know, you could pick up a house in Stockton for, like, you know, $200K, and you could live just fine. But if you're happy, you love what you do, and you're doing what you love, hey, you know, that's fine.
Would you ever want to move back to Stockton?
I used to be there 4 days a week.
Okay.
You know,
what about now?
I can't be there because
your business.
Well, not just that, my grandma's too old, right? So then I can't. I used to stay at my parents' house.
Right.
But even if I had a house in Stockton, you know, I would be at my parents' house all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, what's the point of living in Stockton if I'm just gonna be living alone?
Good point. Yeah.
You know, over here, you know, it's cool because I live near my center of happiness, which is my work and the people in my work.
Right. All right, so now we're gonna make the Chartreuse Sazerac right now. So,
I don't even think I can pronounce that.
I know, right? It's a tongue twister.
Chartreuse.
I know. So what we did is we just flash chilled this coupe glass. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to add ice into here. So
All right, let's do this. Small glass, right?
yep, do small. Boom. Okay, so now we're gonna add a little less. Let's put an ounce of rye whiskey in here.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna add chartreuse in here. We're gonna add a half an ounce of chartreuse.
Nice.
Boom.
I might start turning red, so you gotta add a filter, okay?
We don't see red at all. No, seriously.
That's good.
Okay, so now we're gonna toss this out. You wanna take yours?
All right.
So now it's been chilled already. Boom. Chilled, perfect. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna let you do this yourself. You're gonna kind of copy me. So we're gonna coat this with absinthe. Just a little less. There you go. I'm gonna swirl it around. Swirl it around. Yes, I like the way you hold that. And we're gonna throw that out.
Throw it out?
Yep. Boom.
Feels like a waste.
I know, right? That's how you make a martini. You use a dry or a sweet vermouth. Perfect. You have that. Now take the big cup, slam it down. All right, now shake. All right. Slap it with your right hand. Slap it out. There you go. Go the other way. Yeah. Slap that part. Yep. Oh, on the bottom. On the bottom. So if it's right here. No problem. Right here, and then slap the bottom. There you go.
The bottom.
There. Popped out. Perfect.
I was slapping the top.
Part. No, that's all good. Straighten it out. There you go.
There we go.
Perfect. And then put some lemon peel
There we go.
on top. Perfect. You try. Let's do one straw. Go ahead. Try it.
All right, every single time.
It's strong. Yep. Boom.
All right.
All right.
Cheers. Or what?
Yeah. Let's cheers. Let's cheers.
go.
Let's go for this. Whew. Right.
All right, let's get it.
Thank you, monks. No. So, how can people contact you? They have some questions, regarding tips or advices. How can people get to know more about you?
Yeah, most definitely. I think I'm an open book. I love talking to people about business. I love interacting to business. I'm involved with a lot of entrepreneurship programs as well as business chambers. So I would love to share my experiences with anybody that wants to ask for any tips or advice, or you want to share some with me. I'm definitely down to talk about it. You guys can reach me on Instagram, Drex Lee, DREXLEE, just my name, as well as Facebook, DREXLEE, with a space in between that, Drex and Lee. And that's how you can get a hold of me. I'm over here at my businesses all the time. And yeah, definitely check out. You could also look up some of my work on Google. Just type in Drex Lee. And
How did you come up with that? Is that your real name, Drex?
nah, it's a great name that someone bestowed upon me, and I've been rocking with it ever since. So yeah, definitely, and it's definitely been a pleasure drinking with you. And
at SP2, thank you.
At SP2, thank you to SP2. You can come catch me here. I'm here a lot. I'm here all the time. Catch me having a drink, or catch me making you a drink. Not this drink, but some boba drink, And you know.
What most people don't know is that Drex is a very approachable guy. He's one of the few people that I've contacted that I guess mesh real well and very personable. And I just feel like, hey, this is the guy that is willing to really, he's truly has a big heart and really trying to help you. So it's really
and like I said, thank you very much. And come visit me, come hang out, come have a drink with me. SP2, we got some alcoholic drinks too. It's all good.
Cool.
And definitely thank you.
Cheers.
It was very amazing. Absinthe.